platforms, and in addition, new sales and support channels. So first, what is Jitsi as a service? So Jitsi is our SaaS-based video meeting platform, and that allows developers, organizations, and businesses to easily embed and manage video meetings in their websites and applications. So with Jitsi as a service, you get all the power of the Jitsi platform, but run and hosted by 8x8. And so what that allows our customers and partners to do is to really just focus on delivering the video experiences that they need and want with their branding and just the features they need. So it's highly customizable, and again, you can control all the branding. Now, what sets Jitsi apart is that unlike many of the meeting solutions that are in the market, those tend to focus really just on SDKs and lower level APIs. So what we've done differently with Jitsi as a service is provided you a full, complete, ready to go, pre-built experience. And so that lets you just hit the ground running with secure video calls, conferencing, chat, desktop sharing, and all the features that you would expect. But you don't have to build those out. You can customize them. You can do things that you want to fit your needs. But we give you that experience ready to go. And as part of the demo today, we'll show you how easy it is to get an embedded video meeting up and running. We've also built the service so that it supports compliance and data privacy standards around the world. So you keep your data safe, you can meet privately, and you can also use our built-in analytics to understand how your solutions are being used. And what this Jitsi is not a new solution. It's actually been around for years and years. It is a video platform that's trusted by thousands of developers. And as we said, the Jitsi as a service is powered by the 8x8 platform. There's over 20 million monthly active users on the Jitsi platform today, so it's really widely used. And it is also the video service that we use exclusively and embed in all of our 8x8 products. So let's look at this a little bit today, the different flavors of Jitsi that are available today and how they're used. So first, if you have today any of the products from 8x8 that we think of as packaged applications, so our Express products, X Series, Meet, Work, etc., all the video features in those products are Jitsi. They're just packaged or prepackaged and integrated to support those use cases. What we also have is there's a self-hosted version of Jitsi, which is the open source version managed by jitsi.org, which is primarily staffed and maintained by 8x8. And that is how we provide the open source version and bring that forward with assistance from the community. That is your normal installed software that you would need to manage and do all the development and maintenance on. And then Jitsi as a service is a hosted version of the Jitsi platform that we support, that we run on our own servers and systems. And it supports the ability for you to easily embed video into your website and applications. And so it's a simple SaaS subscription model, and it lets you really focus on your video experiences without having to manage all the infrastructure required, as well as things that are specific to running video applications. That is all part of the service that we maintain so that you can just run video in your applications and websites as you need. And what we see with people using video is that it's really becoming the dynamic way that people communicate, and more is being used to enhance how businesses extend their touch points, or how governments also extend their touch points. So first, we see a lot of people trying to enhance customer experiences by providing a seamless video communication option. And so, for example, this could be the ability to, again, outside of, say, a call center scenario, but a more general purpose scenario, provide the ability for people to schedule video meetings or request a contact by video call directly from your website or an application. And that could be for sales and customer support, but it could be for any other types of scenarios also. And we see people doing this, again, both internal to their organization and external, depending on what the different workflows are. The second area where we see a lot of focus is people wanting to really own their own unique brand, experience, interaction, especially if it's across channels. So, obviously we provide packaged applications for meetings, but sometimes that's not the experience that you want to provide. You really want something that's more controlled and more dynamic, and that's where the ability to embed Jitsi comes in. So what we see is people creating their own digital workplace at times to, say, support internal team collaboration. Or it could also be workspaces and places that are used to connect with constituents or customers. And these can all, again, be used regardless of location or device. So it's very easy for people to get started because the meeting experience is pre-built. It's a best-in-class video experience. It's very easy to get adoption, fast to get adoption by just embedding it into your existing website and application. And we see this being used across a wide number of industries, retail, finance, government, healthcare, but also things like gaming and experiences that people are trying to tailor with video, and also e-learning and event platforms. So again, looking at Jitsi, it provides both the complete extensibility that you would expect from a service. It has full set of APIs and SDK, but again, unlike most of the solutions in the market, it is a ready-to-use media experience that you can be up and running in a few minutes. And so the point here is to reduce your development really from months to a few minutes. You can just copy, paste, and be up and running with Jitsi. And then you can, over time, always add more capabilities or configure things more as you go. But day one, you can be up and running with your own brand experience. Again, it's a pre-built, best-in-class meeting platform. It's used by millions of people in different solutions around the world today. And it's the same platform that we provide the as-a-service solution. It's also a secure and encrypted solution. So this gives you the ability to do communication with peace of mind, knowing that we have your data privacy in mind. And you can get started today. We offer a free developer account in addition to the subscription accounts. And those are available from the Jitsi as a Service website. You can also learn more on the 8x8.com website and look at the product details as well as pricing and packaging options, or contact a salesperson if you have questions. Another feature we have for people that end up with larger, especially solutions using Jitsi as a service, is that our analytics solution, which is called CallStats, also is pre-integrated with Jitsi. This is the same actual analytics that is also embedded into all of our 8x8 products. And with Jitsi as a service, we've done further integrations so that it's also available within the Jitsi administration console, so that you can directly see the analytics information around your video meetings that are embedded into your websites and applications right in the Jitsi console. And this provides you a lot of capabilities in terms of monitoring how your video solutions are being used, as well as being able to proactively monitor and improve the user experiences over time. So with that, we're going to transition to a little bit of a demo and look at Jitsi working. And so as a preview of that, it's really a very straightforward integration that we're going to walk through, which is showing you how it's simply creating the integration to your website or application, which has a couple of steps, and also then being able to update branding and other capabilities based on what your needs are. And so with that, I'm going to hand it off to Lee, who will walk us through a demo.
Hi, everybody. I'll be going over a demonstration, Jitsi as a service. And I mean, first agenda, it will be the following. We'll go through where to find the documentation. Then we'll go to the management portal where we go over where you can control the system's background, APIs, or API keys, or even the logo informations. Last, we'll talk about the API keys and JWT tokens, which is required security within Jitsi as a service. And last, we'll do a short demonstration of the product itself. So let's talk about the documentation. There are two parts to this documentation. Because ABI is supporting Jazz open source product, we are also taking advantage of the open source documentation you see here. The open source documentation, Jitsi Meet Handbook, is valid for the ABI Jazz as a service product as well. So we see here on the open source documentation, you go over all the different codes for the iframe, which is the way we are asking customers to develop against, because it's much easier and quicker to create solutions than going underlying the deep API. I won't go through in each individual pieces, but you can see here, you go over documentation, all the different APIs, API pieces, how to set up an iframe, and then you go over different commands and functions. You can find all the different events. So there's a lot of different capability here you can create and set with an iframe itself. Now, the second part of the documentation is on onboard documentation. So this is go over some of the specialized features and requirements to implement a solution within Jazz as a service. As you see here, you go over how to, with link to the iframe or the mobile SDK, which take you back to the open source documentation on the individual part. This will go over the development console, which we'll go over in a bit. It will talk about the activity, how many users is actually access your solution, the API, how to set up the API keys, which is tied to the token itself, which we'll talk in a bit. This will go over the steps on how to create tokens. The API keys, and this will link to the token itself. So this will have a large number of different references. Now, webhook is one thing we developed in our solution. What that means is when certain conditions are met, the webhook kick off. So for example, there's a webhook to kick in when a user joins a meeting. Another webhook kick in when a user leaves your meeting, etc. So these webhooks make it very easy for you to track the usage, track the information, or even when you use our recording a stream service, those all come out of the webhook itself. As you see here, there's a lot of information, and there's also branding. So logo is a big deal. It tells your customer who you are and how you're providing service they're using. As ABI, we allow you to fully change the branding, so you don't have to use our ABI branding. You could if you want to, but you can override our branding with some other branding that you would like to use yourself, and this is uploaded within the portal UI itself. We provide a free version of dev to call staff solution. We keep the data for 24 hours. I see here, you can access that within the management portal as well. Just to give you some idea of the usage, what the information, just the backend statistics, and give you some analytics information. It's very useful. And they tell you information regarding plan, billing. So I won't go into every single piece of the documentation, but definitely come in here and look at it yourself. Now let's look at the web UI itself. So I already logged into the management portal. So this is what it looked like. The very first page after you log in, it's a sample application. Now this sample application is using like a developer API key that we kind of developed. It's not using your own. But this gives you an idea of two users that's connecting through iframe using iframe into one meeting. I see here, this is all pre-connected and all developed. And you can just copy this code and using it to start learning the product itself. Activity is exactly what we said earlier. It's usage. It tells you the number of users. MAU is the users themselves. I know it's still loading. Each user that's connecting to your solution counts as one MAU. Now, if the user come back into the meeting within a 30-day period, they will be not counted again, because we actually track this by a combination of the application and the local hardware ID. So if they come through your application and the laptop they're using is the same, we'll track that as a user for the month period. The API key is very useful. This is how you control authentication. To connect to your user, first thing you have to do is you generate a public and private key. From there, uploading this key will generate this API key. This API key is basically used to when you assign your iframe to the. It's basically tied to your iframe itself. This is actually a required key to get in. The public and private keys also used to generate your JWT token. This token is not an option, so every single user that want to join your meeting must have a unique JWT token generated for it. Within this token, they have information regarding who this user is, their name, what kind of permission they have. Are they a moderator? Do they have permission to record? Do they have permission to stream, etc.? All these permissions are tied to the JWT token itself. This token is encrypted using a public and private key. And when we receive that, we'll actually compare this against the public key uploaded to see if this person is allowed to join the meeting. And that's very important. Most of the people that run into problems get stuck in this step. And definitely, this is a part you want to learn and understand very clearly. Now, here's why I talk about the webhook. We have documentation, how to set up a different type of webhook within our product. Like I said, we have a huge variety of webhooks you can use. As you see here, there's a different defining webhook. There's when a room is created, when a transcript, so if you have closed captioning enabled, the transcript will be uploaded to JSON and also come out using webhook. Whether a live stream is started or a room is created, destroyed. So a lot of this information are basically coming out of webhooks themselves. And here's where you upload branding. There's two different parts where you can change. One is the branding themselves, and the second is a background. As you see here, right now this have no branding or background, so it's just a clear piece. You can upload logo and background to override this entire thing to get the look and feel you are looking for your product. And analytics, this is where we connect into a callstat dev environment to store that analytic data for 24 hours. It's going to take a little few seconds. They see I have no data yet because I haven't actually run anything yet. You can also reach out to support from contact support mechanism here. This is where you can get help and open ticket with our support team. All right, so let's take a look. Let's talk about the API key itself. Like I said, that's a really important piece. The API key is tied to two parts. Like I said, public and private key. When you just start in the development, first you want to do, you want to generate a public and private key. This is what you tie to the entire solution. You upload the public key to our web UI, where the API key will be then created. And then you use the public and private key to generate this JWT token. And this token, you can actually test against it in the JWT.io, the open source project. We're using a standard token that's used across the platform, but there are definitely some different information within the token itself that will make it very important for us. So, for example, you make sure you want to have the right algorithm RS256. The key is actually your entire token key. This is combination of the token API key itself, and the backend is actually like a string information regarding who you are as a client. So this is the entire string that's created when you upload the public key. The type is JWT, so that's hard coded. So please make sure all three of these fields are on the header. In the body itself, this is where you have the information regarding who this user is. You have information regarding who this user, the name, their email, their avatar, etc. And this is where you're assigning what right they have, they're a moderator or not. You can also set features within the token itself. All permission for the individual user is tied in the token. Like I cannot repeat that enough. Very, very important. Within the token itself, you also let it know when this token is valid and when it expires. So this is very important. The room and the sub are two different components important. The room is actually, when you create a meeting within Jazz as a service, you create a room for that meeting, right? You can create a meeting for January 24th, 1980, for example, right? This room is who who is allowed into this room is typed right here. So right now is a room is star, means this key is valid for all rooms, which is probably not that secure. You probably want to assign an individual room name to the key, so this key is only valid for this room. This protects you, so your user don't go into random meeting, and this protects your users, so they don't go into random meeting and confuse them as well. Okay? The sub is actually the API key. If you remember, the kid is the API key slash string a number that's tied to your account. The sub is just the API key itself. All right, so let's show the next part here. Let's see a short list of code. I have something written up here. As you see here, this is a short iframe code that I wrote up. Very simple. It's calling to the 8x8.vc. It's our underlying infrastructure. Now, please forgive me. This is obviously my magic cookie. Please don't reuse it. I'm creating a room called test room 1. Very simple. And you see here, my let me see. If you can see here, this is my gigantic list token. And this token, within this token, we'll have a magic cookie that's actually tied to this this API key and with the room name itself. So this API key is tied to this room. This API key you want to generate in the backend for every single user dynamically, so you get everything working. So they don't make sure you don't have static key like this. But obviously, this is useful in sample. So okay, so I'm gonna start running the code to show you what it looks like. All right, so I see here I'm connected to the right room, and my name is actually pulled over. It's actually from the API key itself. And now I'm in a meeting. And from here, I can invite other people. I can dial out to PSTN to another phone number to invite this person in. And that's all. Now you have a short meeting created. All right. Thank you so much. That's in the demo.
Thank you again, Shane and Lee, for joining us today. Lots of possibilities to ponder in how this could be used for a variety of use cases, but lots of good info. For additional information, please visit our knowledge base at support.8x8.com, or for additional training options or to view upcoming webinars, please visit our university website. For additional information about other applications in the 8x8 product lineup, please visit 8x8.com/products/apps. With that, I will remind everyone that recordings of this session will be going out very soon, and we'll take a few final moments for everyone to submit any questions you may have or requests for more information into the chat section here in the webinar. Please also feel free to let us know about other webinar topics you'd like to see in the future. We hope you found your time today with us to be valuable, and we look forward to seeing you again soon in future sessions. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.